Nutrition, structure, and why. You're going to figure out your structure and what you should stick to, and why should you stick to those things. Something to drive you towards your goal. So, nice and strong start here is understanding your Sunday and make sure it's organized. For a lot of people, they'll think Monday is the first day of the week, and that is the biggest fault that you make. You straight away, mess it up because your Sunday is not organized properly. And what happens is you start your Monday and you tell yourself, oh, I'm so busy, I'm overwhelmed, I've got so many things on. But a lot of the time, it is just you being unorganized and you're not actually that busy when you break it down. And the reason I know that is I've worked with thousands of people over the last decade, and we actually break their schedule down. They're not really that busy and they've not really got that much on. It's just lack of structure, lack of prioritization, and making sure that they are actually on track with everything. So when you have the Sunday, for example, how do you then format that? Making sure on your schedule that you have the actual day, things that you want to do as well that week. Maybe you have things you enjoy, you need to put into your schedule, or maybe you need to do things like shopping, we put that into your schedule. You don't just put all your work stuff in, and any time you have left, you look after what you eat and you look after your training, because that is a recipe for disaster. You need to make sure that you're putting everything into the diary and you're making sure you've got that structure, because without it, you're going to leave it to the last and you're not going to actually get it. So, day one, structure. Sunday, you've got all your food in the fridge, you've got everything organized there, you're in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock, you have your food ready for tomorrow, and it's nice and simple. You do not need to organize 7 different meals for the rest of the week. It could be as simple as just making the dinner on the Sunday night and having it for lunch the next day. That's what I would normally do. I think it's super easy to follow. You don't need to overwhelm yourself in meal prep for 3-4 days. It's pretty much, 1 out of 10 people do that, but the majority of people are better off just doing the next day. Day 2 is fine, you've got the food there, which is Monday. Tuesday, you shop again to make sure you've got all the food in the fridge, because when you have the food in the fridge, you're more likely to eat it. So as they say, don't shop on an empty stomach. Next day, then shop again, shop again. Why do I have these back to back? Because this year will be a Friday. If you don't shop again and it gets to Saturday, you will then get to a point you'll be like, you know what? There's nothing in the fridge. It's Saturday afternoon, I'll eat what I want. But if you make sure you're stocked up towards the weekend, you're more likely to cook the stuff at home, and it keeps you accountable and on track. Because honestly, if you have a deficit of 200 calories every day, so you're losing calories each day, and it gets to one of the days a week, and you overeat by 1,000 calories, you end up losing all the progress you've made. And then you'll say things like, I've done so well this week and I haven't got results. It's because you messed up. And you know how easy it is to eat 1,000 calories. One cake can be 1,000 calories. One huge slice of cake can be 1,000 calories, and you just overeat like that. So you do need to be focused when you're on a fat loss journey, especially those people who are, maybe a little bit further ahead, because it can get a little bit more difficult and you do need to be more strict. If you're super heavy, cutting out fizzy juice, cutting out processed food alone will probably get you down weight easily from there. Why and implementation. You need to figure out why you're doing it. Is it for your kids? Is it for your business? Is it for your illness in the family? You need to figure out what you're doing it for and why. If you're strong enough, you think, you know what? I don't want my kids to be overweight when they're older. I'm going to be a good example. That alone, if you can't do that and you have kids, there's probably a deeper problem there. I would definitely use that as a good driver. Use your business as a good driver. If you want to make more money, you need to be more efficient. You need to know how to grow your business. You need to be focused. You need to have mental clarity, creativity. If you do not have your hormones in place with the right nutrition and training and lifestyle, you're going to fail, and you're going to blame your busyness or other outside factors for your failures when it's not, and it's completely your responsibility. And it's your responsibility now to learn the information that I am teaching you, so then you can then apply it to your life, and then you can benefit from those things.